Very good morning to all of you students. Welcome to the physics class. In this session, we will discuss chapter number 7 of class 11th in physics, and the name of the chapter is friction. It is the important chapter and we have to discuss in this chapter some important points. Clear? So first point is, what is frictional force? It is also known as self-adjusting force. You know that when we applying a force on any object, then the object is moving. That means it started to move, and after some time it becomes in stop. That means a force is working in the opposite direction of that object, and this opposing force is known as frictional force. Clear? So this is the proper definition of frictional force. Clear, student? Now you know that when we placed any object on the surface, then there should be two forces are working on that object. First is weight, which is working downward direction, and second one is reaction force, which is working in upward direction, and they balances to each other, by which the object remains in the rest position. Clear? Okay. Now see in the second diagram. In this diagram, the weight of the object is working downward direction, it is mg, and a reaction force capital R is working in the upward direction, which balances its weight, and a force F is working in forward direction, then an opposing force which is working in opposite direction and it opposes the motion of the object is called frictional force, and it is represented by Fs. And if we take a component of Fs and reaction force, then we get P. So P is a force of resultant of frictional force and reaction force. Clear? You can also see here the resultant force P is acting at angle theta from the reaction force, and this angle is known as angle of friction. Clear? Okay, student. Now, student, we will discuss what is limiting friction. Here, limiting friction means there is a frictional force which have a limit. That's why it is called limiting friction. And the proper definition of limiting friction is the maximum value of the static frictional force which comes into play in a body just begins to slide over the surface of another body is called limiting frictional force. Clear? Now student, there is some laws of limiting friction. First is the magnitude of the limiting friction or static frictional force depends upon the nature in contact and on their roughness. It does not depend upon the size or of any object. Clear? Okay student. Now the next point is the force of frictional is tangentially, that means parallel on to the surface in contact, and its direction is opposite to the direction in which the body starts moving. The third one is the most important point, and in this point, for the given surface, the limiting frictional force Fs is directly proportional to the normal reaction force. That means we can say that frictional force is directly proportional to the normal reaction force, and here μs is a constant known as coefficient of friction. So we can also define coefficient of friction like this. The coefficient of frictional or static or limiting friction is the ratio of limiting frictional force to the normal reaction. Clear student? Now next topic is kinetic or sliding friction. So here, once the motion starts, the frictional force acting between the surfaces decreases, so that a smaller force capital F is required to maintain uniform motion. The force acting between the two surfaces in relative motion is called kinetic or sliding friction. So sliding friction or kinetic friction is generally represented by Fk, and it is equal to mu k into r, where mu k is the coefficient of kinetic friction and r is the normal reaction force. Clear? Okay student. Now a graph of frictional force versus applied force. So here you can see that there is a graph is made between the frictional force and applied force. So where in the first part of a graph you can see that on the x-axis static region is given. That means here the frictional force is working, which is known as static friction. In this case if we get a straight line which shows that the frictional force will be equal to the static friction, that means the applied force will be equal to the frictional force. Clear? In the second reason you can see that the break away point is take place. What is break away point? It is a point in which condition the frictional force is losing, that means the capacity of frictional force is decreases continuously and the body is starting to move. So in this reason the kinetic friction is working. Clear? And in the last part of the graph you can see that here Fk will be equal to mu k into r. So there is a relation between kinetic frictional force and normal reaction force. Okay, student. Now, our next topic is angle of friction. So, as we know that tan theta is equal to Fs upon r. That means it is the ratio of frictional force to the normal reaction. So, tan theta is equal to Fs upon r. Then tan theta is equal to mu s, because we know that Fs upon r is equal to mu s. So, we can say that the angle of friction will be equal to the coefficient of friction. Now student, the next topic is friction. Friction of an inclined plane or angle of repose. It is also important point, and in this condition you can see that there is a diagram, and in this diagram an object whose mass is capital M, it is placed on the inclined surface which is inclined at angle theta from the horizontal surface. So its weight mg is working downward direction and a normal reaction force is working in upward direction. So if we take two components of its weight mg, then we will get mg sin theta in the horizontal direction and mg cos theta in the downward direction. So mg cos theta will be balanced by capital R and mg sin theta will be balanced by frictional force. So we get two equations which are given as Fs minus mg sin theta is equal to 0 and capital R minus mg cos theta equals to 0. So by solving these two equations we get a relation Fs equals to mu s into R. Clear? If we put the value of Fs, so we get mu s into R is equal to mg sin theta. So there is a relation, we get mu s equals to tan theta. So this is a derivation of angle of friction, or you can say that it is a relation between angle of friction with the coefficient of friction. Now in the case of kinetic friction you can write here mu k is equal to tan theta into k. Now student, we will discuss the types of friction. So it is two type of, first is sliding friction and second one is rolling friction. So sliding friction, when a body slides over a surface, then the frictional force working between the surfaces or contact is called sliding friction. Clear? Next one is rolling friction. It comes into play when a body such as wheel, dishes, cylinders rolls over a surface, and it is a common experience that much less effort is needed to roll a drum of a coal tar. Clear? So with the help of a rolling friction, any object can be rolled on an inclined surface. So this is the example of rolling friction. Okay student. Now next topic is motion along a rough inclined surface. We have already discussed this point, but here we will discuss in detail. So when any object is rolling on an inclined surface, then you know that then the weight of a object will be working downward direction, and the two component of weight mg cos theta and mg sin theta. So we get two equation as above, and solving these two equations, the first equation is mg sin theta minus fk is equal to ma, and second one is r minus mg cos theta equals to 0. So on solving these two equations we get a new relation, and this relation is a is equal to g sin theta minus mu k into g cos theta. So here we get a relation, and here a is called linear acceleration. That means when any object is rolling on an inclined surface, then the acceleration produced in that object is considered according to that relation. Okay. Now student, next topic is friction is a necessary evil. Here we will discuss friction is necessary for our life or it is harmful or our life. So sometimes it is necessary and sometimes it is harmful for us. So friction is a non-conservative force. This is important point you have to learn. Frictional force is a non-conservative forces which always opposes the motion of a body over the object. Clear? So the dissipation energy into non-recoverable forces like heat, form like heat and noise, the excessive heat produced and due to machine a frictional force cause damage. So we know that sometimes our machines becomes damaged due to frictional force because the excessive amount of heat energy and light energy is used which is waste, becomes waste due to friction. Clear? Now, method of reducing friction. So how can we reduce friction? There are some methods by reducing friction. First is polishing. Frictional arises due to a surface irregularities at molecular scale. On polishing the surface, space between the projection on the surface is filled by the machine on the polish. Thus, intermolecular decreases, distance decreases and the surface offers less frictional to a body moving over it. So with the help of polishing, we can reduce the frictional force produced in the machinery part. Clear? Now next one is lubrication. When a lubricant like oil or grease is introduced between two surfaces in contact, it forms a thin layer between the surfaces which are no more in direct contact and the friction is reduced. So, in fact, sliding friction is replaced by the liquid friction. Clear? This is an important point, which is much smaller in magnitude. Now, the next point is proper selection of materials. In this method, frictional depend upon the nature of the material of the surface in contact. Therefore, in a machine, the surface of the moving part in contact can be lined with material of low coefficient of friction. Types of vehicles are made of rubber because frictional between the rubber and the concrete is smaller and that between iron and concrete. Clear? With the help of proper selection of materials, we can also reduce frictional force. Next one is using ball bearing conversion of sliding friction into rolling friction. The ball bearing consists of two coaxial cylinders between which a suitable number of hard steel balls are arranged. The axle of the vehicle or machinery is fitted tightly into the inner cylinder while the wheel is put in tight contact of the outer cylinder. When the axle rotates clockwise, the steel balls together with the outer cylinder and the wheel rotate anti-clockwise. That means the frictional force decreasing continuously and we can easily move the car. Clear? We can also easily drive the any operator which have a ball bearing. Clear? So these are the methods by which we can reduce the frictional force. Student, in this chapter you have to discuss, you have to learn only some proper definitions and types of friction and how can we reduce the friction, because this chapter is important, but only one questions is generally asked from the board examination from this chapter. So only 2 to 3 marks are generally asked in the board examination from this chapter. Clear? Okay student, thank you very much. Keep watching the videos.